So anyway, it's my time, so
Yes.
we can just go ahead and let my time continue to roll. Thank you. According to this Flint Clean and Safe Summer Youth Jobs, I'm looking, Mr. Seamus, and I don't see it. I don't see one street that is not Flint. All of these streets look familiar to be City of Flint
Request for
Street.
information.
What's your request?
To you, to Ms. Lewis, some of these, Mill Creek is, they may say Flint, but that does not mean that they're in Flint. For example, my mother's address says Flint, but it's Mount Morris Township.
Okay, thank
So
you.
Mill Creek is not.
Thank you.
Mill Creek is not, as I'm looking at this list.
Thank you so much, Ms. Burns. And that is the new McCree Theater, that is in the Second Ward, and that's also the theater of Jerry Winfrey Carter's father. So we can go ahead and make sure that we don't give them funding because they are, so they are making sure that they are accepting youth not from Flint. So thank you for that. And so back to my point, I don't want to gatekeep. I want to uphold the rules. And so if the rules say that you must only employ kids that live in Flint, which this is what the money is for, we want to make sure that that's the case. So since you have identified the New McCree Theater as an employer that is employing youth outside the city of Flint, we will make sure
Point of order.
that...
Point.
She's speaking to my motives, telling a lie. I did not say that it was the New McCree. That is what you said.
Okay.
I told you where Mill Street was.
Wait, excuse me.
I did
can
not state
address this?
McCree at all.
Can I address this? Mill
Please do.
Creek is actually in Flint Township. Whether they received payment or not, I don't know. But that resident is in Flint Township, and it is the address of one of the students.
Thank you.
No, request for information.
What?
Madam Chair, did you know that what she said was, one of our colleagues said it was Mill Creek. The other colleague pointed out that that was under McCree Theater's employment. I think we're missing the point. One pointed out that it was that it says Mill Creek, and the other pointed out who the service provider was.
And I know that there was at least one person who was employed at McCree who did not receive funding.
All right, but
was
this is what we
discussed.
have here, since we have colleagues that want to gatekeep. Colleagues that have said from their elected seat tonight that if an organization is here that they're not going to pass it. It's not our job to gatekeep, and it's not our job to approve the organizations. Our job is to pass money and ordinances. That's what our job is to do. And our job is also to meet with the mayor as he extended the olive branch to the office so he can hear our priorities. He's been saying that all year, and he sent out another email. And so we have colleagues that's refusing to do so. So going back to my point, so seeing that the New
Point of
McCree
order.
Theater,
What's your
Point
point?
of order. She does not need to speak a violation, Robert's Rules 43.21. She don't know if we denied to meet with him or not, so stop her from lying.
Go ahead, Ms.
okay, so this conversation wouldn't even need to be had if you meet with the mayor. But the point is, our colleague pointed out that Mill Creek is not in Flint, you're right.
I don't think Nick.
And Mill Creek, McCree is employing students that lived on Mill Creek. So what we just came to the conclusion of, the New McCree Theater is employing
Request
people
for
outside of
information.
Flint.
What's your request?
I think we might want to look at Knickerbocker Avenue too. I think that's Beecher. That's not McCree, so that's the good church.
All righty. Well,
Go ahead, Ms.
all right, thank you. So if we look that up on the property portal, because I don't like to assume, so Madam Chair, can we pause the time? So we can just, so we can look that up, because I want to be clear and I want to be factual. Everyone that's clapping in the background, we know that the civil war lady have a odd relationship with the truth. So we're going to make sure that we.
Point
That
of
is
information,
not-
is that like your bishop and you?
Excuse me.
Request for information.
I was just going to answer the one about Knickerbocker.
Go ahead, go ahead.
That is not in the city. Same with, I think I looked up Brookgate.
So my association is with the truth is really good then.
Did you have another, Mr. Jarrett? Mr. Jarrett? Okay.
Right, okay, so we can go ahead and make note of that as well. Again, this is not about gatekeeping. I'm not up here saying who I will not give money to without a valid reason. And so we need to move on and do what's in the best interest of the youth. Let's pass these jobs. But it's been stated on the mic that we are gatekeeping in the 6th Ward. And point of order, can we please have our officers go in the back, because they should not be yelling out and blurting out. They should not. They're being disorderly in the back corner.
They absolutely are.
It's an officer there?
Oh, yeah, he's hiding behind the post.
All right, well, we need to stop hiding and let's go ahead and enforce the
Madam
rules.
Chair,
Which,
I would like the floor.
go ahead.
Thank you. So I'm sorry to our police that you are being weaponized against the residents. Yet again, I'm sorry.
Request for information.
What's your request?
Was she sorry when she was interfering when the police was trying to do their job last week? So let's choose when we be sorry.
I think,
That is
listen,
that is
Liddell,
not
I'm
a
not going to
proper
do
point.
you today.
Go ahead.
That was incorrect.
Go ahead.
So, thank you.
I already
So,
dealt
who
with that.
vetted these? Whoever vetted these, I don't think that they were vetted properly, because it states a Flint address. With all that intelligence, she should know better. But I do want to say this: when we talk about, I'm definitely not gatekeeping, but we last year did not have we had the names, and that's what I'm saying to you. Now, I know that the councilwoman in the 2nd Ward was a huge, no, you were stressed enough. And so I don't really need you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with you. I do know that when we talk about, and like I said, some of these addresses may say Flint, but they're not. But I know I'm not gatekeeping, and all this gaslighting, she needs to stop. This is whoever's responsibility to check these addresses. And the mess that she's done, her energy is just nasty tonight, and it's very unacceptable. And she was a stickler on making sure people to get fed in her ward at St. Mark, so I surely know she wouldn't approve this, because they had the audacity to feed people who were hungry that were coming through that line. So I think that, and I'm looking at some of these other addresses, and yeah, there's some ones, and they do need to be put in the property portal. So if she's trying to flip this script on us, these are her people, some of these, and then to come off and to say, and I want to say this, the McCree Theater does absolutely great work, and
Request for
to-
information.
I'm not answering you, so you need
Request
not.
for information.
What's your request?
Thank you. So what do you mean by those are her people?
So that's an improper request for information.
No, that's a valid
So McCree
request for
Theater does
information.
absolutely great work in this community, and I will not let her nasty opinion and comments speak to the good deeds that happen, and she also likes to use that facility and has been there. So McCree does good work in this community, and they will continue. Now, whether that is Councilwoman Winfrey Carter, the senior-most councilwoman's father, has nothing to do with that. You are always just keeping up mess. Get your list together and we won't have to question it. And that's the part that you need to stop with. So if these are, and some of these are not Flint, and you up here doing all of this, stop that, Liddell. It's you are weaponizing the police. You're throwing people out. You're yelling and screaming. You lack decorum. You accusatory. You need to stop. Because if we need to,
please stay germane to the resolution.
Well, you should have checked hers, but you should have did. So if we needed to go through, and it has been something that is important with these children, this is not our list. We didn't vet them. Now she can go through her pastors too. I don't know if this one is either. We looking at them. Yeah, well, yeah.
Request for information.
So what do you got to
What's
say
your
about
request?
your church not living in Flint?
Excuse me, we have a request. What's your request?
It's crazy.
Ms. Burns, are you aware that there's 3 in Cathedral Faith that are outside the city?
The audacity of that. Can she speak to that?